Hey, what is up, my friends? Welcome back to Day Trade Diary. Today is day number 60 of our documented trading journey. It is the 28th of 28th of April 2026, and I'll give an update on what happened yesterday. For Oanda CFDs, we are at 14,773 with a 70% exposure. And for Binance Bitcoin, we are at 10,242 with an 18% exposure. This is a total net asset value of $25,001, which is a return of 6.25% over the past 60 days. That equates to a 1,471 US dollar gain. This is the updated net asset value curve. And I must admit, at times like this, it gets a bit frustrating and a bit boring because, as you can see, nothing really much has happened over the past 2 weeks or so. We are exactly where we were, roughly 2 to 3 weeks ago. And in times like these, you need a lot of discipline to not ape into irrational trades out of boredom and out of frustration. And I was certainly guilty of this in the past as well, just trading out of boredom. But what I found was, since I started documenting my trading journey 60 days ago, I have not made a single irrational or impulsive trade. I hold myself accountable now, by recording these trades and following this pure mechanical grid or ladder trading strategy. So I'm very happy with that. I get my speculation or my gambling urges fulfilled, in other areas when I invest in pure stocks or commodities or spot crypto. But for this trading strategy, this documented one, I want to be as disciplined as I can. Okay, that was a lot of talk. So now let's go into what happened in Bitcoin. So we had 2 buys and no sells. So since we last updated, somewhere around here, we had 2 buys in this candle. It's hard to see here, so I'm going to bring up this chart. Yeah, then you can see now the 2 buys were here in this 1 hourly candle. Both of them were hit, and nothing since. So we have the sell orders or take profits up here, and then we have more buy orders on the way down. And as usual, we are setting the trade at 0.004 Bitcoin, and as you can see, 0.004 Bitcoin becomes less in terms of dollar value as the price goes down, obviously, right? So you can see here at 76,100, 0.004 Bitcoin is $304, and at this level it's somewhat less. So this is a way that we can reduce our risk as well. As the price goes lower, we are buying smaller dollar amounts of that asset, but the amount of the asset is still the same. It's just the dollar amount that reduces. Okay. So that was for Bitcoin, and we have 1 buy in silver. So let's look at that. Okay, we have 1 buy order filled for 10 units at 73.5. So let's have a look at that. There it is. So it hit a couple of hours ago. Take profit is up here. So silver, as I mentioned, does not look good at all, but we want it to not look good because we do want it to hit our buy orders. But of course, in a worst case scenario, it keeps dipping and dippity dip. It keeps dipping the dip, yeah, and it goes down to 40. So we need to prepare for such eventualities like that. At this from this level, if everything hits, then I will certainly be more super risk adverse at that point. I will not stagger my ladder so closely. I will probably space it apart every $5, for instance, instead of every $2.50, like what I'm doing now. So we need to have some discretion in there so that our overall exposure rate does not blow up. It does not become 200% or 300%. Even though CFD trading is very famous for 10 to 1 leverage, 20 to 1, 50 to 1 leverage, this is not even one. So at 100%, it becomes 1x leverage. Um, and I hardly go over that. Only in extreme dips do I ever buy up to 1.5x. Because if your leverage is 200% or 2x, what that means is the price of silver, for example, does not need to go to zero for you to lose everything. It just needs to be cut by half. And because you are 2x leveraged, at if the price of silver drops by 50%, you're completely liquidated. Your net asset value becomes zero, and the broker would actually close your trade automatically, to prevent any more further loss to the broker. So this is something that we need to be very, very careful about. I've never been liquidated in my life because I never go past 2x. And when things become dicey, I cut the exposure aggressively to keep it below 100% exposure or 1x. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today. I'm not going to go over all the other assets because nothing has hit. It's still within a range. One thing I need to mention though is the S&P 500 has reached all-time highs again, and crude oil is extremely strong again. So we have some oil stocks that are obviously not part of this great trading strategy. So those are doing okay, but the price of oil seems to be doing much better than the price of oil stocks for some reason. So I'm hoping that that will catch up. Yeah, I wanted to show you the S&P 500, and this is just bananas. It's just, yeah, all-time high after all-time high. Look at it. This is the weekly chart of the S&P 500. It's just bonkers at this point. Yeah, gold and silver and all that. Yeah, they can't keep up. This seems to be the rotation back into stocks for some reason. And Bitcoin seems to be totally unloved now. So we only hope that the rotation will eventually go back into Bitcoin. Yeah, looks like bonds are going to hit, and it seems to be the consensus or the thesis that in a declining liquidity market like what we are facing now, of course, risk assets like stocks go down, crypto goes down, um, commodities go up, and it's peaking. It should peak this year. Commodities like gold and silver, precious metals, and after that, rotation would be oil, which is happening right now, and after that would be let's say staple goods stocks. So things like food stocks, Procter and Gamble, things like that. Yeah. And then finally, the last rotation in this liquidity cycle would be bonds, government bonds. So if you want to take advantage now and position yourself, it's a good time to start shopping for um, uh, bonds. And that's what I'm thinking of with these UST bonds, which are 30-year bonds, as well as staple good stocks. Yeah, and also of course China stocks with the increasing liquidity from the Bank of China. Precious metals, I'm looking to wait for one more last peak, and then I will start to offload most of my precious metals. Okay, that's me for today, and wish you all a good day and a good rest of the week. Take care now. Bye bye.